Okay, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. I hope you are a Patreon patron. If so, thank you for your patronage. We really need the support. Contributions are way down, so if you can find an extra $5 here or there to up your contribution, really appreciate it. If you're a subscriber on the YouTube channel, thank you. You're getting this real time as well. If you are a Prime member, and whether you're a subscriber or not, if you're a Prime member and have a Twitch account, link those two together. We have instructions in the show description below, and we get paid a couple bucks a month, so that will help out a lot. Please remember to do that. And if you haven't renewed it in a while, please go down and follow the instructions. It takes a second. It's a one click, and we'll keep getting paid. And if you're doing none of those things, follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. All right, fellow babies, today's question from SIFTD from Deus Zero. Now that Sony has released its new 3-tiered plan for PlayStation Plus, how does it stack up to Game Pass? What about Nintendo Switch Online? Which of the three has the most profitable plan? Should Sony change course and allow its first-party exclusive games on PlayStation Plus day one? All right, Switch Online really doesn't have much, so they shouldn't enter into this conversation. I mean, Switch Online is inexpensive, gives you a little bit of content, and mostly is just a way to download games and go to their store, and it's fine, but it's not comparable. The way to think about compare the services, let's just assume that online multiplayer for Sony and Microsoft is $5 a month. Let's go with that. It is $60 a year. I'm just trying to do this monthly. Nintendo is $20 a year for that, so less than $2 a month. So Nintendo's always been a good deal. The reason that they charge less is, first of all, they don't have that many people playing multiplayer because they don't have that many multiplayer games. They do have, obviously, Mario Kart, and you can play many others, but they don't have Call of Duty. They don't have FIFA Ultimate Team. So the big system sellers at Sony and Microsoft aren't really on Switch. It's different. If you look at the rest of the offering, let's just call it $10 a month. I think PlayStation Plus core plan is $100 a year, and so $8 a month. Microsoft's core plan is $10 a month if you X out the Xbox Live and assume you're paying for that anyway. You pay $15 and you get both. So let's back out the $5. So $10 for Microsoft, $8 for Sony, and call it $250 for Nintendo. All three give you catalog content. Now, I would say of the three, Nintendo is far and away the best deal. It depends on what you want to play, but I happen to really like N64 games and a lot of Game Boy games. And knowing Nintendo, they have a couple of thousand games between Game Boy Advance and Nintendo's DS, so they can keep adding games, GameCube games. So I think that's a bargain, and who knows what they're going to add to it, but I expect that they will always have 20, 30, 40, 50 games available. So that for $250 a month, the incremental cost of PlayStation Plus is $100 a year. The incremental cost of Xbox Game Pass is $10 a month, $120 a year. So I'm just trying to equate the three services that just give you games, not give you multiplayer. $10 a month for Microsoft, $8 a month for Sony, $2.50 a month for Nintendo. Nintendo's the best bargain. Now, Microsoft has, 4 or 5 times as many games, and probably going to be bigger and bigger and bigger, and ultimately will become a better value, and I'm going to get to first party. But on a just standalone basis, for $250, you can be really entertained on Switch. The difference between PlayStation Plus higher tiers and Game Pass is first-party content. Now, Microsoft has two things going for it in catalog. It's got EA catalog, which is worth a lot. And I don't know if it's all EA games made a year ago or earlier, but it's pretty close. I don't know how far back it goes. I don't know if you can actually play Madden 05, right? But you will be able to. Eventually you will be able to. But the second thing going forward is they're buying Activision, and they bought Bethesda. And again, all these titles haven't been remastered to make them available on Game Pass, but you're going to be able to play Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 on Game Pass. You're going to be able to play, my guess is, Tony Hawk 3, 3 and 4, Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, give it some time, but you're going to end up with the whole Activision library. So forget first-party new releases for a second, and just think about catalog. And most of my viewers are in their 30s and 40s and 50s, but if you're a 20-year-old punk who started playing Call of Duty 7-8 years ago, how many have you played? 7 or 8 of them. How many are there? 18, maybe 19, 18. So, you haven't played half of all the Call of Duties. Now you can say, well, but I bought Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Okay, great. You played 9, but seriously, I got to tell you, they're all fun. Go back and play those. They're really fun. Skylanders, Guitar Hero, that's all going to show up. So, and then Bethesda, oh my God. I mean, Doom 1, 2, 3, and 4. You guys know about Deathloop, but there's so many fun games. Bethesda, like I said, Dishonored. What a fun game. So yeah, you get all that content. You get Wolfenstein. I mean, oh my God, there is so much Quake, Prey. I mean, you don't even know about all that you're going to get as Game Pass. So I think that is huge, huge value. Now, the PlayStation catalog, I don't know. I didn't spend a lot of time. I'm not sure they've announced all the games yet. But I don't know what all the catalog titles are, but I don't think there's a lot of third party. So I think obviously Sony first party, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4, worth the price of admission. You should join long enough to play those games all the way through. Last of Us 1, you want to play those games. I mean, they're just great. But I don't think the quantity is there for the PlayStation catalog. It's worth a lot to play. Is it worth $8 a month for the rest of your life? No, I don't think so. Because $8 a month, it's like buying 2 games a year. So you really have to play kind of a lot. The real differentiator, though, is first-party new releases. And economically, it's a bad idea to give away new release titles day and date as part of a subscription. It's a bad idea. And it's a bad idea until you get to some critical mass of subscribers where it becomes a good idea. Okay? So what's the cost to Netflix of adding one more movie to the site? They have 200 million subscribers paying an average of about $10 a month. So they're doing $25 billion in revenue. One extra movie costs them $50 million. Is it worth it? Yeah, if 250 million people watch it or 200 million people watch it, spend the $50 million, BFD. Those 200 million people are paying you $10 a month, and that one movie keeps them subscribing. Worth it. They're big enough to absorb the cost of putting something day and date. Microsoft's not at 250 million or 200 million subscribers. They're at 25, but probably growing. And their calculus is, okay, we don't have that many first-party titles. We've got Halo and Forza and Gears of War. But if you look at Halo, how many copies does it sell? 10 million? Fine. And so 10 million people pay you $60 and play the game. How many people are going to play this year's Halo? Answer, 24 million. I mean, those 25 million Game Pass members, 24 million of them are hardcore gamers. There probably are a million gamers in there who don't like shooter games. No, maybe. But they're going to expand the Halo brand by over 2x by making it free. And they'll still sell 2 or 3 million copies because there's still going to be people who just don't want to be a Game Pass subscriber for whatever reason, bandwidth or something, or don't have the money and just want one game a year, and that's it, one game every 4 years. So they lost maybe 7 million worth of sales, but they kept 25 million subscribers happy. And all the in-app purchases that the 10 million people spent, let's just be conservative, $300-400 million. So the average of 10 million people was probably $30, $40 of in-app purchases. Multiply that times 25 million people. They might get $1 billion back in in-app purchases. Not to say they're going to, I don't know. But look what Grand Theft Auto Online did. They sold 160 million copies of the game, and they keep churning out 500 million in revenue every year because they keep the content fresh and they keep people coming back. So I think the Game Pass subscription gives Microsoft a huge competitive advantage. Don't even get me started on World of Warcraft. So we just talked about Elden Ring and how the hardcore guys can't stand it, that us noobs can come in and play the game on easy mode, therefore there is no easy mode. Guess what? World of Warcraft subscribers want the noobs in the game. They want to kick the crap out of us and take our stuff. Like, they can't wait till we show up. So when you have World of Warcraft, which peaked at about, I think 12 million subscribers or something, it's probably down to about 5 or 6 right now. How many of the 25 million Game Pass members are already World of Warcraft subscribers? Answer, 1 million, maybe 2. So 23 million people are not World of Warcraft subscribers. How many of them are going to try World of Warcraft? I will bet 10 million. Try it. Because it's there and it's free. It isn't yet, but it will be. When it's free, and you're one of the 6 million subscribers who has all of your heroes leveled up to level 100 or whatever it goes to now. What does it go to now? I don't even know. You've got a hero in every class, leveled up to level 100, and you are going to get a noob in there from Game Pass. You are going to eat his lunch. You and your guild are going to surround these people and just you're going to throw rocks at them. And so, honestly, I think one of the biggest impediments to a long-lived game like World of Warcraft is lack of liquidity. You don't have new players coming in. Everybody suddenly is good, which makes it really hard for a new player to compete. And so, you're going to have this rush of new players. So that's a huge advantage to Game Pass. It's a huge advantage to Microsoft to own World of Warcraft. And on the first-party side, new stuff, Microsoft's only going to put Microsoft first-party titles on Game Pass day and date. Obviously, if Activision comes out with Call of Duty after they close, that'll be on Game Pass day and date. It'll also be on PlayStation. It'll also be for sale in stores, just like Halo is. So, think about that the way you think about Disney owning Fox. They didn't take the Venom movie and put it on Disney Plus only. They put it in theaters first. And they'll sell DVDs and they'll do pay-per-view. And then when it's all done, it'll be on Disney Plus. I think it is because I watched it. So it must be. So that's what Microsoft's going to do. So first party, if you get enough critical mass, it's worth putting on the streaming service. And again, business models are changing to where there's in-app purchase after you spend the $60. And as Take-Two has proven, if you get a lot of players, you can generate a ton of revenue. FIFA Ultimate Team does something like $700-800 million a year, and they sell 25 million copies of the game a year. So do you think FIFA Ultimate Team would like an extra 25 million players? Sure they would. Now, will they go on Game Pass? No, because they haven't figured it out yet. But honestly, it's a huge advantage. So the better question is, why doesn't Sony do this? And the answer is, I think what Microsoft did was bold, bordering on insane by embracing Game Pass. And even more insane buying Activision. But that was the tipping point for them. I wasn't sure Game Pass was going to work until they bought Bethesda. Then I started thinking it might work because Bethesda catalog's worth something. But remember, Bethesda's not exactly prolific. Deathloop and Starfield, coming out maybe in 2 years and then nothing for a while. Elder Scrolls, in 2029 or something. But my God, Activision, now you've got this machine that turns out a lot of content, and suddenly Game Pass makes sense. So Sony, I think, would benefit if they made their titles first party titles day and date on PlayStation Plus. I am pretty confident they won't do that. There are none announced, so it sounds like they aren't going to make an announcement that we're not doing that. But when their first party titles come out, they're not going to be available on PlayStation Plus. So the more interesting question is, when will they become available? And as I mentioned the Fox movie analogy. Movies are in theaters for 45 days. It used to be 75. Before that was 90. Before that was 180. 45 days. Then they go to video, so they're on demand, or you can buy or rent a DVD. And that usually lasts about 9 months or so, and then it goes to a premium service like HBO. So Sony could do it within 9 months, and that'd be interesting to see if they do. If they wait 2 or 3 years, then I don't think PlayStation Plus is going to work. It won't thrive. It'll be fine. I mean, they'll make money. but it won't be a good deal. If they wait 9 months, yeah, then it'll be pretty comparable. And I actually don't think Microsoft would hurt itself by waiting 2 or 3 or 4 months, because somebody who really wants to play Halo, spend the $60. Somebody who's got plenty of other stuff to keep them busy. It's sort of like, and again, you guys are all different ages. I used to go to the theater to see new releases, and then I had kids. And when we had kids, it got to be expensive to go to the movie theater. It was a hassle to get a babysitter. It was expensive, and we had to rush home and get the babysitter home, and not just the money, but just getting the babysitter to her home. And so pretty much when I had kids, stopped going to movies. I mean, we do things like see friends or go out to dinner, but we did not go to movies. And I time shifted my movie consumption from theatrical release, day and date on console, to 9 months later on HBO. So when my kids were born, which is 2000, I added HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, Movie Channel, Stars, Epics, everything that's available to my cable subscription. So I think I pay like $32 a month for all those services combined. And I don't watch as many movies on them now because of Netflix and the others, but I still pay for that. I became a subscriber because they trained me to wait. Sony could actually thrive if they create a window that makes sense, so they get the sales for the people who can't wait and everybody else gets it 9 months later. And I actually think that's a happy medium and a reasonable outcome. And I think Microsoft should have done it, but they didn't. Now, can Microsoft change? Sure they can. You had some of the streaming services, HBO Max, put movies on the day they came out in theater. I can't remember, was it Wonder Woman? I think it was Wonder Woman.
1984.
Yeah, and there was another one. They did 2 or 3 movies that were in theaters that launched on HBO Max. Oh, the Sopranos movie.
There been a bunch.
Yeah, I think they did their entire 2021 slate, which again I think was really stupid because it kept people from going to the theater. Now again, during COVID, it's hard because most of us didn't want to go to the theater. But I think that Warner Brothers has flipped back to putting movies in theaters. They're not on HBO Max the first day. So Microsoft can change their mind. But right now, I'd say the Microsoft Game Pass offering is a better value because you're going to get day and date new stuff and all that catalog content. Sony's very likely, Jim Ryan's a former CFO. He is a really smart man and very, very financially astute and worried about making a profit, which is what he gets paid for, so good for him. I think he'll come up with a 9-month window, and I think that might be good enough for PlayStation Plus subscribers, but we're going to see because they've just launched it, so we won't know numbers until they choose to share them with us. And it'll be interesting to see if they catch up with Microsoft or pass them. My prediction is they will do neither, but we'll see. Because I think Microsoft, once the Activision deal closes, I think that goes to $50 million. I think Microsoft is Netflix, and I think Sony is Disney Plus. They're playing catch up. Good content, arguably better content, and it is. I mean, Disney content is better than Netflix content, but Netflix has a lot more. And more content, more subscribers, hard to overcome. Thanks for joining us on SIFTD.net as a Patreon patron. And if you are paying monthly, thank you. Keep it up if you can. You can squeeze an extra $1 or $2 into the account. Like I said, Shane is just dying here, so we need all the help we can get. If you are a YouTube subscriber, thank you so much. Please remember to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. And that's automatic. Just follow the instructions in the show description below. Otherwise, follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter, and I will see you next time.